Deep in the jungle here, I found what appears to be some ruins.
There's so much to see here in the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula here in Mexico.
Look at that. That looks like possibly a wolf spider. There's an animal right in front of me. It looks like a large bird, but I can't really tell. It's amazing to let me get this close. And you can see inside the water here. Maybe now, with this light, you can see in the water even better. There's any crocodiles in there. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures. I spend my free time here hiking alone in and around the Las Vegas area over extremely dangerous and remote terrain to investigate mysteries, disappearances, and reports of strange paranormal occurrences. This winter I decided to go someplace exotic, and I took a trip south of the border to the jungles of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, just south of Cancun. While I was there, I wanted to do a jungle hike video to show you the terrain, wildlife, and cenotes, and that you experience what it was like to hike out there, both in the daytime and at night. My videos aren't always exciting, but they're real as they happen, so you feel like you're right there with me. So if you're ready, grab your passport and pack your bags. We're flying to the jungles of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula near Cancun. So deep in the jungle here, I found what appears to be some ruins, and you can see way off in the distance, it is a large rodent running through the grass. It's not a rat, but rather some kind of a large rodent about the size of a cat. You see it over there? Looks like about the size of a cat or something. He's not too friendly. So over here, it looks like somebody have been clearing the jungle. Right there's a mound, a mud mound. I'm not sure what that is, and I don't want to get too close because there's some water right there, and I don't want to go in the water for snakes and whatnot. But you can see that mound right there. Wasps or something perhaps made it. I'm not sure. This jungle is very, very foreign to us. Now this area is just right outside the hotel. This isn't even deep in the jungle, and you can see that it's rich with wildlife. I can see another rodent kind of thing way up there, so I'm going to walk up there and try and find them. But I'm not sure what these ruins are. Maybe at one time somebody built something. It's hard to say. Clearly they're very old. So I'm just walking slowly and deliberately, trying to get close to some of these creatures that I'm seeing out here outside the hotel. Well, so far that's about it. If you can see the dense jungle there, water, there's another mud nest or something. I'll try to get close to it and see what it is. I don't want to get too close and get surprised by some sort of an animal, but see right up there, that mud nest. Again, maybe wasps or something built that. It's really hard to say what it is. But this jungle, wet vegetation is definitely a lot different than the desert we're used to. And again, this is all right outside the hotel, not deep in the jungle. Small rat-like creature. Down here it's foraging for food. we don't have these in Nevada. It's not an actual rat, but it's kind of a rodent. And he went over there, as you can see. He's kind of eating something. I threw him some nuts, so that might be what he's eating. But he appears to have left. And that's it. Alright, so these palms, I guess, or that one up there, you can see some coconuts in it. There's some coconuts down here. We don't really have coconut palms in Nevada, but these are old. Clearly they're no good to eat, but during the right season you could theoretically climb one of these palms and grab a coconut, and what you're seeing is the hard shell. The coconut itself is inside that shell. Just walking along the beach here, you can see we're right on the edge of the jungle, and it's difficult to go into the jungle because you really can't see the forest of the trees. So here you're looking and you just can't see what's right in front of you, and there's so many critters and animals here, you just never know what you're going to run into. So I'm going to go a little ways and see if we can see what's in this jungle, because I know you guys like these hike videos. It is really difficult to get through here. Look at all this brush. Look at how overgrown it is. You can't walk very far. It's not like the desert where it's wide open. It's just non-stop brush and vines everywhere. So what we're gonna have to do is find a path through the jungle to make travel a little bit easier, because this is just impassable here.
All right, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed this jungle adventure. So this is just one segment. There's jungle. It's a huge, vast, open place. You can see I'm sweating a lot more than I usually do in the desert. It's a hot, steamy area. In there, like I said, there's some ruins or something. There's a small trail that gets to them that I saw on the GPS, not the GPS, but Google Earth. There's a trail that gets to these ruins out there. If I can find a way to get to them, I'll get to them and show you. But there's so much to see here in the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula here in Mexico that I'm excited to show you as much as I possibly can. So if you're ready, come on, let's see what else we can find, and we'll head out in the jungle.
So you can see here the jungle is so dense that you've got to pretty much find a road or trail through the jungle, because you just simply cannot traverse that. I mean, look how thick that is. It'll take you hours just to get a few feet going through that stuff, and not to mention snakes or other critters you may run into. Tarantulas, scorpions. You can see a spider web and some spider right in there. Maybe you can't, but I can. But it's really hard to get through, so you've got to find these trails. Now this is a road, but there should be a small kind of a path off here somewhere. I'm tracking up by GPS. It leads to some of the cenotes here in Cancun area on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. So let's keep on going and see what we can find. I think it rained last night, so you could see the road here is really wet, and this humid tropical environment, the steamy jungle, stays wet all the time like this. Very sharp contrast to the deserts of Nevada where we usually hike. You can see it's kind of swampy in there with some water. Lots of animals and wildlife around, so you never know what we're going to run into, so we'll keep our eyes open. Evidently this is red mangrove, and say take care of the flora. That pretty much means, you know, respect the forest. Don't go traipsing through the jungle, chopping a path through there. Some of these areas look like they go in, but they really don't, and even if they did, it's swampy area. So the footwear, I'm not wearing my usual Solomon boots. What I have is these Altama Maritime assault boots. They're lightweight, they fit my foot like a glove, and they're really designed for like Navy SEALs. You could wear these inside flippers and fins, and they're designed for a marine environment. I really love these boots. They're one of my favorite boots. They're extremely comfortable and fit my foot like a glove. Absolutely designed for this kind of environment, but obviously I wear them in the deserts of Nevada, out there, street or off-road, whatever. Very comfortable, great to walk in, and I brought them on this trip simply because
I needed a safe space. They fit in my bag. They fold up really easily. And I knew for a hike like this, they'd be absolutely perfect, and they are. All right, so looks like a little turnout here. Still tracking the GPS. The trail we're looking for is just up ahead off this small dirt road. So we're gonna keep going on and see if we can find that trail. All right, so looking in the jungle here, here's one of these weird mud nests. I'm a little apprehensive to touch it, but I'm going to. It feels hard. It's almost like wood, and I'm not sure what made it, but it's some sort of a nest or a fungus or something that's growing, and it's really hard to say, but like I said, it almost feels like, oh shoot, look at that. Evidently it is made by animals. Look at these little critters running out. Those are termites almost. Do you see them? Termites or something? Yeah, it's a termite mound, clearly. That's what it is. Sometimes you got to take the lid off the pickle barrel to find out what's inside. It's termites. Definitely something we want to stay away from. And they're all over the place. Look at them. See them? Tons of them out here. All right, so we use a stick and see if we can coax some more out. Now you can see just off the road is this kind of swampy area. Little things swimming around. There are small minnows and fish inside here, which is kind of surprising because you'd think it would dry out eventually, but I'm assuming this never dries out. So these little small fish and minnows just live their whole life. There's one that's about 2 inches long in this little swampy area. And you can see it's just like a jungle. It's teeming with life. All right, now you may have noticed I have an extra kind of a waist pack on, which is this one right here. So over here I have a medical kit. Over here I have a survival kit. And I don't know if you noticed, I've got, this is food right here. And I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't bring any water. What I do have is the life straw. So this one right here will enable me to drink out of any of these pools and puddles. So yes, even that water over there, I would drink out of. That's with this life straw. Wouldn't rely on this unless I really, really have to, but it's nice to have. Now I could have brought water. I'm not gonna be going ungodly far, and I know more or less where I'm going here, and it is somewhat of a well-traveled path, but just in case, this life straw should provide life-saving water if necessary. I'll do a full segment on this, this waist pack and everything that's in it here. Now you've seen before here, I'm wearing the same kind of combat shirt that I wear in the desert, and this is really great for the jungle as well. The middle section is, it's really thin material like neoprene or something, while the gloves or the sleeves are somewhat thicker. So if I brush up against any part of the jungle here, it kind of offers some protection to your arm. I'm not wearing my 511 pants. I am just wearing some shorts. I believe they're Dickies, or some really kind of thick shorts that are really great for the jungle. They're probably a little too thick, but I'm fine. I'd rather have a little more protection than not. So we're coming along here. We're almost to one of the cenotes, and we're going to see what's in there. It should be some crystal clear spring water that leads to the ocean. So I just saw an animal come out of this hole right here, and he's in here somewhere. I don't know if I can get him on film, but it's in that hole. You can see him in there. I don't think so. It was either hermit crab or tarantula. But whatever it was, went in there, and I didn't catch him on video quick enough. So we'll just have to keep our eyes open. If I could see something like that, I'll try to get him on film. So here's one of the cenotes, evidently. You can rent kayaks, but this is all fresh water. It's like a freshwater spring right here in the middle of the jungle. Look down, you can see how clear the water is. It's crystal clear. Obviously, I'm not going to go in right now, but I could. And maybe at a later date we'll go inside with the camera and show you some video inside there. But it's really beautiful. It's clear, crystal clear water. We'll come on over here on this kind of a dock place, and you can see it goes down about maybe 20 feet. It's about 20 feet deep or so. But this is a freshwater spring fed out here deep in the jungle in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. And over here, here's a ladder to kind of climb out. I don't know if you can see a little bit better inside the water there, but it's really clear. I didn't bring the waterproof case for the GoPro, so I'm not going to stick it underwater. But like I said, at a later date, I'll see if we can get some underwater video. But yeah, it goes right there in the jungle. Absolutely nothing like this in the state of Nevada with this dense jungle. But yeah, it's really, really beautiful. More cenotes this way, so we're going to head through the jungle even more and see if we can find some more stuff out here along this little path. We're passing a little small footbridge here that goes over some of this kind of jungle pool water, the swampy area. You still see little minnows in there. There's a spider, I don't know if you can see it. It's right there in front of the camera. If you can't see it, yeah, you can see a little bit. Anyway, these spiders are all over the place. It looks like kind of a garden spider type of thing. Typically don't bite, but so you don't want them crawling all over you. Here's another spider. Jungles are obviously full of spiders, and you can see him on video right there, and he doesn't like getting too close. I wouldn't either, and we're just gonna let him be and keep on going, keeping our eyes open for spiders. Now this is a more narrow trail. The one we were just on is suitable for vehicles. This one is not. This is clearly foot or bicycle traffic only. So this is the kind of a trail we're looking for in the jungle. And this is nothing like this, obviously, in the state of Nevada, where we usually hike out in the desert. It's hot, it's steamy, it's humid. I'm sweating a little bit more than I would in the desert, but it's really not that bad. I mean, it's December in the jungle, so it's not brutal hot summer, so it's really not that bad. The wildlife is really interesting here. The plants, the flora, the fauna. Really not used to any of this kind of stuff, so it's really cool just to see what's around here. Here's another one of these mounds, as we saw before. By taking off a little piece, it's clearly termites. This massive mound has got to have taken years to build. Termites have built that. And we're going to keep going to see what else we could find. We got another little footbridge here coming up, coming over the jungle in this little kind of swampy water. And let's keep on going, see what we can find. All right, so looking at the GPS, we're still on track for this trail right here. It leads out to the final cenote that's out in the middle of the jungle. So we're going to keep on going. You can see elevation is 17 feet above sea level. So yeah, this is not like the mountains of Nevada. So let's keep on going and see where this trail leads us. So yeah, it's kind of a protected jungle, no felling, which means no chopping this stuff through. So glad I left my machete at home. No, I couldn't have taken it anyway. But yeah, it looks like you cannot chop this jungle away and make your own pass. It is kind of a nature preserve out here, so a lot of this stuff is protected, even though this is Mexico. It's not the United States, and but still, I mean, they try to protect the jungle, protect the wildlife out here, and there is quite a bit of it because deforestation is a global problem. All right, so we got kind of a big giant moth over here or something. We'll try to get him on film. And not really a butterfly, but a moth. And you can see him up there, all his colors. It's maybe 2 inches across. And you see a lot of these. They do have moths like this in the desert in Nevada, but they get really big too. This isn't a really large one, but it's kind of cool looking. You can see him blending in with the tree there. So yeah, just a little close up on some of the wildlife here. All right, we're continuing down this path. It just seems to go forever deep into the jungle. And we're coming across a kind of a water pool here. There's no footbridge across it, and I'm going to try to step here on the sides and not get my feet wet. These boots that I have, these Altama Maritime boots, they're fantastic for this environment because they're quick drying, and they've got little sections on the side here where water can be squeezed out. But I do not want to get my feet wet. I'm wearing socks. These footwear are designed to be worn without socks, but I am wearing socks just for comfort. And if you get your feet wet, trench foot and immersion foot are real things. These are things I was taught in the military, so I'm gonna try to keep my feet as dry as possible, even though I can go back to the hotel and change socks, which I will if necessary. But for this trip, if I can keep things dry, that's all the better. It's best to minimize risk and not take chances, especially when you're traipsing through unfamiliar territory. Now here's another section of water that we may end up getting wet, so I'm gonna try to avoid that and walk on the sides here and minimize our chance of getting wet, and just kind of narrowly come along these rocks. Not really the rocky cliffs in Nevada, but you can see I'm just kind of balancing myself here, trying to avoid getting wet. And I know some of you say, just be a man, get your feet wet. But I mean, look, trench foot, immersion foot, these are real things which I'm trying to avoid. And if I can keep my feet dry, which I did, then we'll be fine. So we'll keep going across this little footbridge and see where this leads us. All right, coming across this footbridge, just looking what's on the side. Here's another spider that has built kind of a web right over the water. And if you look in there, you can see little minnows swimming around. These are minnows that live in these jungle pools of water, the swampy water. And they live here year round because it rains so much here, it always stays wet. So you can always see little fish here, but these fish provide meals for other animals that are undoubtedly in the jungle. Most of them you can't see, a lot of them come out at night, but sometimes during the day you can see them. As you've seen at the resort, animals coexist with people peacefully. They go about their business, they look for food, and they don't really let you approach them, but they know people are there and they just don't even worry about it. They go about their business. Now it's interesting, go take a look here, look at this tree branch. How many years did it take to get like that, just laying on another tree branch? You don't see this in Nevada because moisture caused this. In Nevada, they would stay hard and maybe go on top of each other, but with moisture, you can see this tree branch right there kind of growing into the other tree branch. It's amazing what a difference being in a moist environment or the dry desert makes. So here's a slightly deeper pool, and you can see fish that are, I don't know if you could see them in here, but I can see them anywhere from 1 to 3 inches long, just little minnows in this little deeper pool. They probably live their whole life right here. Goes down, looks like maybe 2 feet, 3 feet, enough to get maybe up to your waist almost. More spider webs you could see built over these pools. Very typical things you'd see in the jungle, spider webs and little fish. Bigger things I have not seen, snakes and whatnot, haven't seen anything like that yet. But keep in mind, these animals are master of camouflage. We could be walking right by something huge and not even seeing it. All right, so we're at a crossroads right here. More cenotes that way, and it looks like we've got some cenotes straight up here. So this is where we're gonna go first, down this path of the jungle and see what's out here. I'm just gonna roll film. It looks like the water's right up here. It's really kind of cool. So I mean, you could wear waterproof boots, but you get in water that's deep, that's higher than the boots, it's not gonna do you much good. Hip waders maybe would be nice, but you're not going to really want to wear thick rubber hip waders here deep in the jungle. It's just too hot for it. So maybe sandals would be best, which I did not wear. I wore these boots instead, and it's fine. All right, so looking at the cenote, I could see some fish. There's actually some fairly large fish in here. 4 inches, 6 inches maybe, it's hard to say. I don't know if you could see them through the water. I'd love to stick the GoPro in and see them, but I have the media mod on and not the waterproof case. So I may have to come back at a later date with that waterproof case and stick it in here just to kind of show you some of these fish. I don't think they're piranhas, but there's some sort of a fish. The water is absolutely crystal clear. I could see all the way to the bottom. Now you've got to watch out here because there are crocodiles here. Even at the resort, there was a crocodile in the just the main water right outside the hotel. So I know there's an abundance of crocodiles here in the Yucatan Peninsula, so you got to keep your eyes open for those as well, and maybe not go swimming places where you're not sure what's in there because there's danger at every turn. All right, so we're continuing our journey here, coming over a small little footbridge that comes over this swampy area of the jungle. You can tell that it stays wet year-round if they're going to build a bridge over it, so that's why you see a lot of fish that stay in there for year after year, probably until they get eaten. So a lot of animals, like I said before, are hidden. This hole right here may very well be something living in there, and you can't tell because they hide. They hide when people walk by, they hide during the day. So we may be actually surrounded by hundreds of critters and wildlife. You just can't see them because they're hiding. So if we're lucky, we'll see some, as we have so far. They're more prevalent at the resort because they're used to being around people, but out here in the jungle, this is their domain. This is where they live. So they're not used to seeing people and not sure what to make of them, so they typically hide. But if we're lucky, we'll catch something on film. Now it looks like we may be coming up to some crossroads here, and it's really easy to get lost out here deep in the jungle on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. But I've got the GPS and it's working fine. Now there's a couple casualties we did have. Let's see, I'm not sure which way to go. A couple casualties. I had a compass that was clipped on the outside of my pack right out here that somehow, thanks to airport security, popped off. And there was also my flashlight, my little Streamlight flashlight somehow got lost. Probably one of the security checkpoints again. Honestly, sometimes I think TSA does more harm than good, but there's a purpose for everything, I suppose. just as well as look an upgrade anyway, so that'll be on my list of things to buy when I get back. Here's another one of these termite mounds. They are everywhere in the jungle. They're massive, they're huge, they clearly took years to build, and if you stick your fist in there and make a big hole, you're gonna pull it out full of termites. It's just tons of them inside there. So let's keep on going through the jungle and see what we can find. Looks like this path just goes way in there. I have to check the GPS and see how far we need to go. All right, uncharted territory, so it looks like we are almost approaching the end of what was a path. Elevation over sea level is 2 feet, so basically we're almost at the sea, so we'll keep on going. All right, so continuing this trek through the jungle, Cenote Hondo is this way it looks like. Guide GPS app I've been using does have some of the trails mapped out, but they ended back there, so we're basically in uncharted territory deep in the jungle. Good thing is these paths all lead somewhere, so if we did get lost, chances are they'll lead back to the main road, so I'm not too worried about getting lost. And again, if we need water, I've got the life straw. We could easily drink out of this water here in the jungle. I'm not really too concerned about that, so we'll do that if we have to. Looks like Cenote Sabalo. This is a cenote here, which is a freshwater spring. Water is very dark. I would not go in there. This is not clear water. Who knows what kind of wildlife is in there. Spider webs, all kind of stuff around here. Let's keep on going, see what we can find. All right, so it looks like this is a Cenote Hondo, and they've got some kind of rope here so people don't go any further. And look at this dark, murky water. You don't need a rope here, I'll tell you what. I wouldn't have any intention of going further into that stuff. Looks like alligator central out there. Alligators, snakes, who knows what. But yeah, you don't have to ask me twice not to go out there. So let's head back and see what else we can find out here deep in the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula. So this is the end of this path. Looks like it just kind of loops around here. Sign saying Cenote Limite. This evidently is a cenote. I don't, freshwater spring. I don't see a big pool of water. I just see some water in the jungle. So there may be a freshwater spring here, it looks like. But that is about it. So we're going to start heading back after seeing these cenotes deep here in the jungle in this nature preserve here on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and see what else if we could find, if there's anything else in the jungle here that is of interest to us. So I'm point out really quick, something evidently dug this hole. You could see this kind of rocky material around there. I'm guessing it was either a crab, possibly a spider, maybe a crab, since we're so close to the coast, that dug into that hole right there. It's clearly buried deep in there and we can't see what it is, but I can only speculate as to what it may be, because there's all kind of wildlife out here. So we're continuing our hike deep in the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and we've evidently come across another one of these cenotes, freshwater springs. Really dark water. I could just assuming there'd be a ton of crocodiles inside there, so I'm not even going to get that close. These animals are very hard to see. Even a large crocodile can hide very well, so I'm not going to get close to the water or any place where there could be a croc hiding. So I'm going to film it, show you what it looks like, and then continue on because I didn't want to get too close, and we'll see what else we can find out here in the jungle. Now, you know me, I prefer to make my own paths through the wilderness here, but in the case of the jungle, you just simply cannot. I mean, you can see how dense this brush here is. So fortunately, we're on some very old but well-traveled trails through the jungle here, through these cenotes. Otherwise, the jungle is just simply too dense to go through. I mean, look at that. You just simply can't get through that. So we're going to stick to these trails and paths. They're clearly very old. They've been here a long time. But they're well maintained, it looks like, and probably well used, and we'll just stick to this to get out of here. Now, where we are is off the GPS marked trail that I had before, so fortunately everything here leads someplace, so I'm fairly confident we'll get out of here. As long as you stay on the path, you're probably going to be fine. Let's keep on going. So we made it off that narrow jungle path onto a wider one, and it looks like we've got kind of a fork in the road up here. I'm pretty sure I know where to go from here. This is marked on the GPS map. If necessary, we could refer to that. But yeah, we made it out of the deep jungle, but we're still in the jungle. This whole area is, this resort is in a nature park smack in the middle of the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula here in Mexico. So that way, I believe, looks like it's a nursery up there or something from what the sign says. This, I think, leads back to the resort, so that's where we're going to go and see if we can get out of this dense jungle. And if there's anything interesting along the way, we'll film it as well.
So we're back on the main road here, and this I'm assuming leads back to the resort eventually. I'm not sure how far we have to go. I didn't check the GPS, but good thing about these roads and trails of jungle is they all lead somewhere. Even if it's a dead end, you can always backtrack. And of course I did a thorough map recon before we came out here, so I know more or less where we are. I familiarized myself with the terrain, what's out here. Now I do know, and I don't know if we get to it today, there are some ruins somewhere deep in the jungle here. And there's a small side path that leads to them. If I can find a way to get to them that's not technically trespassing, more or less, I will show you what they look like. But I did see those ruins on the Google Earth, and they're deep in the jungle somewhere, so we'll try to find those later on if we have a chance. But for now, we're just going to keep on going and see if we can get back to the resort from here somehow. All right, so it looks like we finally made it back to the paved road. We're going to come right here, and I think the resort's that way. I see some tourists walking, some workers over there building something. But yeah, back on the paved road, let's head on back and to the resort and clean up. Oh yes, these resorts here in the Mexican Riviera are beautiful. There's lights, there's nightclubs, there's all kind of stuff going on. But you know that's not how we roll. We're heading out in the jungle. Because you know that the jungle at night is where all the action happens. So if you're ready, let's do this. Let's head out there, follow these lights, and flip on our media mod light and see if we can hit some single track. This is one of the Coatis. There's lots of them around here that come out at night. Actually come out any time of day or night, but mostly at night. All right, it's a nice night for hiking. Checking the GPS here, we don't have far to go. Just up the road a little bit, then you can see there's like a path off to the right. That's where we're gonna go towards those cenotes again. And if we can get off this street onto some dirt roads and maybe some single trail out there, we'll be doing good. So let's keep on going and see what we can find out there in this jungle at night. All right, so it might be a little hard to see here, but we're going down this dirt path into the jungle at night, and I can't stress how dangerous this is. This is the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula, and there is real wild animals out here. There is a lot of animals that come out at night. I've been told there's leopards, there are crocodiles in the jungle, and here we are just walking along, just hiking like it's nothing. Now, if you watch my other videos, I usually carry a small revolver for protection, but this is Mexico, and as you know, that's just simply not possible here. You can't bring it on the plane, can't have it in country. So I'm out here alone, unarmed for the most part. I do have a few things that tricks up my sleeve if we do run into trouble, so I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I will say that here we are walking through the jungle at night. And the reason I'm doing this is because, look, we're here. I want to maximize the time here. I want to record as much as we can and see, is the jungle that much different at night than it is during the day? So we're going to go down this main road here, and that should lead us to some single track we came out on earlier today. So yeah, let's keep on going and do this. All right, so this media mod light is on full, and it lasts about 30 minutes. So this may not be a long hike because, needless to say, I don't want to get caught out here in the jungle without any light. Now, I had mentioned that I did bring a light with me, a small stream light that I usually carry with me wherever I go, even overseas like this. But taking my pack off at the checkpoint, I must have dropped that light somewhere, which really kind of irks me because I definitely could have used it right now. But not to worry, we'll make it do with what we have. And just to kind of show you that how dark it is here, let me kick this light off a little bit. That's on level 1. And obviously without that, it's going to be pitch black. So let's turn it off. And that's the jungle right there, pitch black darkness. But yeah, that's really kind of intimidating. We'd have to come back crawling on our hands and knees trying to find the road, and hoping we don't go off road. So let's turn this back on full. Now you can see the road has these kind of paved stones on each side. And look right here. Look at that. That looks like possibly a wolf spider. But this is one of the things we don't see during the day, and he is really cool looking. That's a very large spider. And like I said, it's things like this that kind of hide during the day, but you see them at night, and that's a big one. So we'll keep our eyes open for any kind of animals or things we didn't see during the day. Hopefully there won't be any predators, anything larger than, you know, a raccoon or something. So we'll just keep on going and see what kind of animals we find. So far, if that little spider's the only thing we see, we'll be in good shape. But there are tarantulas out here. There are. Just like there are in Nevada. So I'm not sure about the ones out here. There's scorpions too. So going across the road, you never know what we're going to find. Let's keep on going and see if we can find that trailhead up here. A little bit. Should be off to the right somewhere. Alright, we've come to some kind of a circle here, roundabout. Checking the GPS. Let me turn this light off so you can see the GPS. They turn off completely. It's kind of hard to see the GPS. There we go. I don't know if you can really see this GPS, but we've arrived at the trailhead. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the GoPro light back on, and we're going to hit some single track. There. That should be GoPro Light Max. I think there's actually one setting higher than this, but I'm not going to hit that. I'm going to keep, because that'll drain the battery too much. The battery would drain in like 20 minutes, and I want to have maximum light to get back. So this GoPro light, if this dies, I'll use the cell phone light. If that dies, I've got a little tiny pen light, which is about as strong as a candle. I'm seeing reflections and things flying around, which I think are bats. So yeah, there are either bats or large moths flying around here. But I'm just kind of carefully walking along, seeing what might come out at night. You can hear the resort off in the distance. We've come about half a mile on the GPS, and we're just trying to see if we run into any kind of strange creatures in the jungle here. Half a mile into the deep jungle of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. See if there's anything out here. Let's keep going. All right, we've come to the cenote that we were at earlier today, and you could see inside the water here. Maybe now with this light you could see in the water even better. Is there any crocodiles in there? I'm hoping if there is crocodiles here, they're underwater, sleeping, and not laying around someplace. But we're going to come along here, and yeah, I'm really intimidated at this darkness, at this water. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's really deep. It's probably 20 feet deep. I could see to the bottom with this light. I know you're having a hard time seeing it, but I'm going to try not to get too close to the water here. See if I can show you a little bit inside there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. The water's really deep. When the water's somewhat shallow, it's easier to see, but when it's deep like that, you can't see it. So we're coming around here on this dock. There's a stairway leading into the water, and I know you can't see, but there's the whole cenote there. I see a bat flying around. There's some kind of a bat. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't, but I could see it. Now I could see this whole pool from here. You can't see it on a video, but I could see it, and it looks really intimidating in the darkness to see this huge, wide open area that's really deep, like 20 feet deep. And anything that you can't see the bottom is really scary and makes you really nervous, because there are definitely crocodiles in this area. So let's keep on going, away from this water a little bit. It's almost kind of creepy seeing these buildings and stuff in the middle of the jungle. This, I guess, is a little building for renting kayaks. Here's the toilets. Here's some sinks and everything for washing up. There's some solar panels there. I'm not going to go in the restroom. There's no reason, but you could see it's really kind of creepy at night out here. I keep hearing things out here. I'm not sure if it's things falling from trees or if it's animals or creatures moving. This bat keeps flying around, and might be attracted to the light. I don't know if you can see him in the video. Maybe you can, But he's flying around. Looks like he's attracted to the light or something. And we're gonna keep going. So here's where the path narrows. Here's where the single track starts. And I'm not sure what we're gonna see out here, but let's keep on going. This is the same place we were during the day. Everything is exactly the same as it was during the day, only there's no light. And there should be significantly more animals out. So I'm moving the camera kind of fast, but believe me, my eyes are all over the place watching, seeing what we could run into. Now, some of you have said I've talked too much in my videos, and I do talk a lot, but it's narration, and I want you to know what I'm feeling, what's going on here. I'm talking as if you were standing right next to me. So I want to make sure that these videos, you feel like you're a part of them. You see these pools of water? Something is moving in there. I'm not sure what it is. Now, if there's any animals, like a big cat or something, clearly this is their territory. They would be able to sneak up on us, and, you know, and they're not used to seeing people out here, because let's face it, who's crazy enough to come out here in the jungle at night? I am. And you are, because you're watching the video. Now I'm walking slowly, deliberately, and quietly, so I can hear everything. Now I will disclose, since some of you have been really observant of my videos, you may hear a second set of footsteps. I can assure you that's not phantom footsteps. I do have an assistant with me.
Hi.
For this video, because let's face it, I'm not dumb enough to come out here alone. There's got to be somebody to be able to run back and get help if necessary. I mean, this isn't the desert that I'm used to. This is the jungle. This is the Yucatan Peninsula, deep in the jungle. And we are approximately, see, we got about 1.6 miles on the clock. Maybe you can't see it because of light, but trust me, it's 1.6 miles into the jungle, down this narrow single track. Let's keep on going and see what else we find. Continuing our hike through the jungle at night, coming across my little footbridge here. See the water on the side. I don't know if I really see any minnows. Yeah, there's a little minnow right there. You can see them up on top of that leaf. There's little teeny tiny fish that live in the jungle. The weather, weather's actually perfect. It's not that humid. It's you know, decent. I'm a t-shirt and shorts pretty much, so it's not that bad for the jungle. And so I do have an assistant out here who's helping me slightly, and she's got the camera, the phone, not the camera, and is basically just carrying the GPS and an extra flashlight just in case, because look, I'm in the middle of the jungle of Mexico. This isn't the desert that I'm familiar with. I've got no ham radio. We do have cell service out here and GPS service, but I don't have anything, any kind of weapons or anything like that. I mean, I've got a few things here and there for protection if necessary, but certainly not my little pistol that I carry back in the desert. Good old US of A. So, worst come to worst, something happens, it's always good to have somebody else here who can run back for help if necessary. Because let's face it, people come here to Mexico, they're not crazy enough to walk out in the jungle at night. There's just no reason for it. There's another bat or something. Alright, looks like there's a light up ahead. I hear kind of an engine and a light, so I'm not sure what that engine is. Sounds like a generator, maybe a water pump or something. And that light looks like it might be a road intersection, so keep on going, hopefully we're going the right way. Alright, so I think we're back at the main road. Here's a stop sign, I guess. There's some kind of a generator or something going over there. I don't know what it is. It's really creepy though. Just gonna take a look over here. Water line, water pump maybe, pump house. I don't know, some kind of a generator in the middle of the jungle, pumping water. Maybe it's a well. Let's head back to the main road. There are some possible ruins I have marked up here on Guide GPS. So I'm gonna walk up here. Should be able to just, should be right off the road. So if I can find them, we'll check them out. According to Gaia, there's an entrance here, the ruins, which I do see an entrance. Problem is I see lights out there. And this is, you can really see them, these lights, but this is in the United States, this is Mexico. So I'm a little apprehensive about going out there, seeing these lights. I can go a little bit, but if there's somebody out here, I don't want to disturb them. Now it's Cancun, very wet environment, but there's no mosquitoes here. And the reason for that is these red mangroves. Evidently the red mangrove is a natural mosquito repellent. So wherever you see red mangroves, there's almost always water underneath, but there's never mosquitoes, which is a good thing. There's mosquitoes out here, but wherever you see these red mangroves, they typically are not, which is good. Let's keep on going. Basically where we gotta go is at the end of this road, to that kind of roundabout, and then we'll check out that first cenote again. Keep hearing noises at the side of the road. It's hard to tell if somebody's inside that dense jungle. Clearly no person will be able to get close enough. It's gonna make too much noise climbing over these vines. But there could be an animal there, so it's hard to say. So we're just coming along this road. It's starting to get light a little bit. There's an animal right in front of me. It looks like a large bird, but I can't really tell. Directly in front of the camera. I'm gonna get a little closer. It's probably gonna take off here, but I think it is a large bird. I'm just slowly getting close to him. Surprisingly, he's not running away. Hey, buddy. Oh, there he goes. Yep, it's a large bird. See him up there? I'm surprised he let me get this close. That's amazing he let me get this close. But looks like some kind of a heron or aquatic bird, probably out here looking for those crabs too. But yeah, usually they don't let you get close at all, but here he is. Cool deal. All right, buddy, we'll leave you alone. Yeah, he must be used to people if he's letting people get that close to him. All right, now this area is where I was told just before sunrise, there are a lot of crabs out, little crabs crawling all over the road, blanketing the road. They live in these little holes here. So right now I'm not seeing any. Maybe the sun's got to be out a little more, maybe at certain times of year, I don't know. But we'll come out here, see what animals we can find. See if any of those little crabs are out, look for any kind of movement. We'll eventually come up to the cenote up here just a little bit. It's not that far. We're coming to the cenote again. Here's the dressing room. I guess for people who want to swim. They've got some kayaks over there. And here it is. You can see in the water, it's really, really clear. There's something just jumped in there. It really is creepy walking along this dock here in the dark here in Mexico. Looks like the kayaks are chained up, so, well, one of them isn't. Some aren't. And I could technically put in the water. You can see down there. There's this cenote, freshwater cenote. Some people swim in here. I'm not going to. It's creepy as hell at night. And I could put a kayak in there, but I'm by myself. I'm not going to. There's just no reason. That's a little creepy, just kayaking by yourself at night. And if something were to happen, look, this is the United States, this is Mexico. Who knows when somebody will be out here. So yeah, these are locked up, so I don't think we could have put these in here anyway. There may be one or two that are unlocked. Let's come back over here by the dressing room, see if there's anything interesting over there. Now it's a little chilly out here. Not really jacket weather, but it's not hot. The sun's not up yet. I'm just wearing shorts and a t-shirt for this one. I've got my survival pouch that has survival kit, first aid kit, little flashlight, things like that. All right. If you can hear that, something jumping over there. It could be a crocodile, could be a fish, I'm not sure. I'm hearing something over there as well. There's clearly animals out here. You can't really see, but if you did, I could see a small current coming from over here. I think that's where the water comes from. It's a natural spring, and it flows out to the ocean. So just leaves dropping. What that is, maybe a hairpiece. Over here, more kayaks, changing rooms, life jackets, things like that. It's kind of a grass hut. That's about it. Nothing really too much exciting out here, so I'm gonna slowly start heading back. Now, what I've been told, that sound you may or may not have just heard out there in the jungle. Yeah, right there. I've been told that's a spider monkey. So yeah, there are monkeys out here. I'm assuming that most of these animals are going to hide if they see a person. But if I see any, we'll of course record them. I don't know if you can see, the sun is definitely coming up. So this with the medium mod light off, and it's starting to get light here in the Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. So we're walking back towards the resort, getting out of the jungle. I didn't see any of those little crabs I was told about, so maybe they're seasonal, mating season or something, I'm not sure. I did kind of see one on the hike the other day, ran into a hole really quick, but other than that I haven't seen anything. So far the only animal we saw on this hike was that heron, so let's keep on going and get back to the resort. All right, we're here in the Cancun airport getting ready to head home. Hope you had a great time exploring the jungles here on the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Just waiting for the plane, and pretty soon we'll be on board flying back to the great state of Nevada, where we're going to continue our adventures and our videos. We'll be continuing the search for evidence in the Kenny Beach investigation. I've got a few more interesting hikes and adventures planned. Guarantee they are not ones you're going to want to miss. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed having you here. If you like these videos, you want to be notified when I post a new one, please subscribe. Otherwise, have a great day, and we will see you on the next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.